I've always thought about that. What would happen next? Who's going to be next? And I always wanted that person to be better than I am. And that's one thing that Lonnie is. She's smarter, she's stronger. It's a time that I need to kind of hand the baton to her. And I know I have a biased opinion being her dad, but Lonnie, when she's in the room, she's the smartest person in the room.
When my dad walks into a room, there's definitely a presence about him, and it's special. As a little girl, I've always looked up to my dad and admired him, and not everyone gets to say that their dad is their hero, and I get to say that because he's definitely my earthly hero. Just being his daughter, I had the privilege of watching this man love people and lead well and love us.
Currently, Lonnie's the CEO of Hanover Auto Team. In reality, we know it's just do whatever it takes. Lonnie was born, I was 20 years old. So in a lot of ways, we kind of grew up together. There's a picture of Lonnie at the ribbon cutting ceremony. At that time, she was 10 years old already. To see her grow up and to see her take on the business is really rewarding. I spent probably 80% of my life in Pennsylvania. I mean, there's hundreds and thousands of small towns in Pennsylvania, and Hanover is one of them. A lot of history. Of course, you have Gettysburg to the west, and we're grateful to be here. I helped start Hanover Auto Team back in 1990. We had about 12 employees, and most of them related to us. And grew from there, and now here we are 30 years later. Probably should be called Hanover Auto Family rather than Hanover Auto Team.
I grew up thinking, I'm never going to get into our family business. I'm going to go out, pave my own way. As our family began to talk about, the future of Hanover Auto Team, praying as a family, it just became more and more clear that that was the path that I was being called to go. You can be a car dealer and you can be kind. That is actually how my dad, I think, has become successul. How the business has grown over time is simply by being kind. My dad is just kind of a quiet, humble hero because he does so much for other people, and most people don't know about the things that he's done and how generous he is and how much he gives. He and his wife have opened up their home to children throughout the years, serving as foster parents for nearly 15 years, which is pretty amazing. So when he says he loves people, he truly does.
We realize that we're serving our customer. Our motto at Hanover Auto Team is making it fun again. We want people to come in a customer but leave a friend. My mom, Blanche Burtis, she was the first lady to run an automobile dealership in the United States to get it on her own. I mean, Lonnie's a lot like her. I think she takes a lot of that from my mom.
Oftentimes when I walk into the dealerships and I think about the barriers that she had to overcome because it was such a different time and the ceilings that she had to break through. And ironically, she opened an Edsel dealership. Fortunately or unfortunately, the Edsel did not prove to be successful, but what was neat is that's actually how she met my grandfather. So she often would tell us that the Edsel may have failed, but our family will live on forever. I mean, there are so many wonderful memories with my dad. He would make moments that were kind of everyday moments, special moments. One particular time I was in the car with my dad riding along in the truck, and a song called You Are So Beautiful to Me by Joe Cochran came on. And I remember my dad looked over and he said, this is our song. It's You Are So Beautiful to Me. And that kind of became our song throughout growing up. And that was the song that my dad and I danced to when I got married. My dad would take those mundane moments, those everyday moments, and turn them into something special and something magical. There's so many milestone moments that are a part of our lives. And a lot of times, if you think about it, those milestone moments involve a vehicle. You know, whether it's you getting married, and you know, there's often a getaway vehicle that people drive off in. When you have your first child, many times there's a vehicle that you put your baby in, the car seat for the first time in that vehicle. You know, your child turning 16 and they need their first vehicle. The retirement vehicle, you know, people retire and they decide it's time for that fun sports car. And we want to journey with folks along those milestones, along that journey, and just really be their car dealer for life. I have very big shoes to fill, and I think about that every day. You know, when I think about my grandmother and my grandfather and, you know, my dad, and how hard they all worked and how they were all in this business, you know, I think my job, in order to carry on our family legacy, is to communicate those values, loving God and loving people.
Feels comfortable and very rewarding to leave the business in Lonnie's hands, Lonnie's capable hands. She's kinder, and you know, Lonnie's a lot more beautiful than I am. She's going to take Hanover Auto Team to a lot higher level than I possibly could. Well, even before Lonnie, I always wanted the organization to have someone better than I am, and now we have that. Now we have that in Lonnie.